All right, guys, welcome to the first video for the first lecture. This is the Applications to Linear Equations, Chapter 6, Section 1. My name is Professor Middleton. You can call me Eric. And this is the asynchronous part of the course. In these videos, I will have clear, concrete examples on how to approach each topic, which you can be able to relate it to your homework assignments and your exams. Everything that I'll have in these video playlists will also translate onto the homeworks and to the exams. I'm going to try to minimize as many surprises as possible. Please take notes. Please make sure you have a good understanding of what is being done in the lecture. And if you need any assistance, come to office hours, send emails, and ask questions, as well as going to tutoring. So, in this first video, we're going to start off with translating simple verbal statements into mathematical symbols, mathematical expressions. Before I do that, I want to state the order of operations. And we call the order of operations as PEMDAS. Some people write it as this, while some others write it as this. If you're one of the people to see PEMDAS like the first way or the second way, I want us to disregard that. And I want you to adapt the new way to understanding the order of operations. Parentheses. Let's rewrite that P. Exponents. Multiplication or division. Then we have addition or subtraction, whichever one comes first from left to right. Now, let's translate this. And before I do that, I want us to introduce what is known as a variable. A variable is a symbol or a term that is arbitrary, which means it can assume any value. So for 1a, when it says 14 times a number, I am multiplying the number 14 with some number. Because the number is arbitrary, we're going to use a variable. Usually we use x. 14 times x, which is 14x. The next one says a number divided by 7. I'm going to use a different variable. I'm going to use the variable b. So a number, which is b, divided by 7. And I can write that in the more preferred form as a fraction, b over 7. A fraction represents division. What kind of b is that? The next one says 10 more than the product of 8 and a number. You have two different operations going on here. The word more than represents addition. And product is multiplication. I'm going to abbreviate that. When it comes to that, you must follow the order of operations. Multiplication will come before addition. So I must first represent the multiplication part. The product of 8 and a number, that's going to be 8 times some variable of x. Well, some variable which is going to be x in this case. More than is addition, so I'm going to put a plus 10. And this right here is 10 more than 8 times a number, or the product of 8 and a number. And the same thing will also be translated to D, because D says 3 less than 4 times a number. First, follow the order of operations. Times is multiplication. So that's going to be 4n n is some number. And less than means subtraction. So 4n minus 3. This is 3 less than 4 times a number. And we're going to do letter E, because letter E is a little bit more complicated. So I want us to read it clearly. This says 6 times the sum of a number and 18. That means the 6 is being multiplied to the number, and the 6 is also being multiplied to the 18. The 6 is being multiplied to the sum of the number and 18. That means the 6 is affecting both of those, which means I'm going to write it as 6 in parentheses, some number, which is going to be x plus 18. Let's write that a little bit clearer. This is 6 times the sum of a number and 18. So that is how we translate our verbal statement into symbols. And these are algebraic expressions. We're now going to do one more for this video, and then we're going to translate, well, not translate, we're going to transition into the next part of the lecture. If you understand this, then answering number 2 should make sense. And number 2 is one of those Alex questions that I took from Alex to include it into the lecture. It says, a pound of chocolate costs $6. Ivana buys P pounds. P is arbitrary. Write an equation that represents the total cost that Ivana pays. The cost of the chocolate will equal to $6 per pound. The number of pounds will affect the total cost of the chocolate. So C for cost equals to 6P, or 6 times P, where P is going to be the number of pounds. We translated our verbal statement into a linear equation, into an algebraic equation. So if that makes sense, the next video, which will be questions 3, will combine questions 1 and questions 2, and then we'll have to go an extra step. And if you understand these questions here for the next video, you can proceed with the rest of the lecture. All right, guys, hope you have this down. I'm going to zoom out if you need a screenshot of everything. Hope this makes sense, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.